St. Paul, Minnesota, 3 former Minneapolis police officers charged with violating George Floyd's civil rights chose to do nothing as a fellow officer squeezed the life out of Floyd, a prosecutor said in her closing argument Tuesday. Defense attorneys countered that the officers were too inexperienced, weren't trained properly or didn't have the intent the charges require. J. Alexander Kueng, Thomas Lane and Tou Thao were charged with depriving Floyd of his right to medical care when Officer Derek Chauvin pressed his knee into Floyd's neck for 9.5 minutes as the 46-year-old black man pleaded for air before going silent. Kueng and Thao are also charged with failing to intervene to stop Chauvin during the May 25, 2020, killing that triggered protests worldwide and a re-examination of racism and policing. Prosecutors sought to show during the month-long trial that the officers violated their training, including by not rolling Floyd onto his side or giving him CPR. But the defense said the Minneapolis Police Department's training was inadequate and that the officers deferred to Chauvin as the senior officer at the scene. Thao watched bystanders and traffic as the other officers held down Floyd. Kueng knelt on Floyd's back and Lane held his legs. All 3 officers testified. During her closing argument, Prosecutor Manda Sertich singled out each former officer. Thao stared directly at Chauvin and ignored bystanders' pleas to help a man who was dying right before their eyes, Sertich said. Kueng casually picked gravel from a police SUV's tire as Chauvin mocked George Floyd's pleas by saying it took a heck of a lot of oxygen to keep talking, she said. And Lane voiced concerns that showed he knew Floyd was in distress but did nothing to give Mr. Floyd the medical aid he knew Mr. Floyd so desperately needed, the prosecutor said. But attorneys for Lane and Kueng, both rookies, urged jurors to question why their clients were charged at all.